people are going to think I'm a lunatic.
Hey, as long as they're listening. Looking for that perfect gift?
Contact Aaron Hunzinger of AH Did It for a fabulous one-of-a-kind creation.
Aaron specializes in metal, canvas, leather, and wood to bring amazing works of art to life.
Contact him now by finding him on Facebook at AH Did It. That's all one word. AH Did It.
Where do all the cool cats hang out? At Union Park Tavern, of course.
UPT, as it's called by the hipsters, is located at 4520 8th Avenue, as they serve up great libation and award-winning food.
They open at 11 a.m. on weekdays and 9 a.m. on the weekends for a fantastic breakfast.
Oh, I forgot to mention they have musical entertainment most nights of the week and have one of the greatest beer gardens in town.
That's Union Park Tavern, 4520 8th Avenue.
Yay! The Port has been a non-stop house party since 1985.
This unique establishment is where your weird uncle probably hangs out. They don't offer fancy martinis or fried apps. Instead, you can roll some dice with the bartender, jam at some pinball, and enjoy live music almost every weekend.
Find them on Facebook or stop on by to have a snort at the Port. On this episode of the Ktown Connects podcast, it's going to be the perfect fit as we connect with SherryLudwig of Bisou Lingerie. Cue that music. And there is your beer.
I have a beer already.
You're double fisting those great public
this one's
craft
yours. This one's yours,
beers.
buddy.
Oh, thank you so much for that. Welcome.
It's a great public light lager I'm drinking tonight.
Yes, only the best here in the Ktown Connects studio.
Yeah, Public Craft Brewing Company. They're located at 628 58th Street.
Yes, they are, and they got great stuff. They're just doing a remodel, so to speak, a retool.
Yeah, hopefully they'll keep us on as a sponsor because we love drinking their beer.
Fingers crossed. So that would be great. So go check out the new Public. I believe it's opening, should be open by the time this episode comes out. Mm-hmm. So go check them out and tell them the Ktown Connects podcast sent you.
Yeah,
we
please.
really want to keep the sponsorship going.
And where are we at, Donnie?
We are at the A Plus Mobility Recording Studio in beautiful downtown Kenosha. A Plus Mobility is the area's newest mobility and home medical equipment store. Ashley Knight has the knowledge to help you make the right choices for yourself or your loved ones.
Wow, that's A Plus Mobility, 2324 18th Street. And visit their website at aplusmobilitysolutions.com for, get this, more.
Yeah, they got so much more. And what a great shop she has on the north side of Kenosha.
Beautiful shop up there.
It really is. If you need a scooter, you need a ramp,
Any of
a
that stuff.
loved one or a young one, go there, get it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's great. And hey, Sherry, that theme song, huh? What a rocker, huh?
What a rocker.
Wow.
Isn't that great?
Dropping Daisies did that just for us. Thank you so much, Dropping Daisies.
And you know, I heard it's number one on the charts.
And guess what? Number one in all of our hearts.
Oh,
Still.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well.
Who are we talking to today, Donnie?
Oh, my God. We are here with SherryLudwig, owner of Bisou Lingerie, and you have a new shop as well in Lake Geneva.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, but we're here. We're going to know your story. So we're going to kind of just get to know you before the businesses. Sounds fun, huh?
I'm at your disposal.
Oh, wonderful. That's what we like to hear. So, Sherry, you grew up in Kenosha?
I did not.
Oh, interesting.
No, you didn't do your background.
I did. I'm trying to pull this out of you.
I actually grew up in Antioch, Illinois.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yep.
close.
Small town
Close.
across the border. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I always like Antioch.
It's a great town to have a family.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of Mayberry-ish, so to speak, until you really knew what was going on there. But, yeah, Mayberry as a child.
Right.
And, yes, had many, many wonderful memories of Antioch.
So when you were growing up, what was your opinion? I mean, Kenosha wasn't that far away. Did you have any thoughts on Kenosha when you were growing up, a teenager and stuff? Did you ever come up here for anything? Or
Well, only to cross the border. so yeah.
Cross border for what?
For alcohol.
Oh.
Yeah. It was for some imbibing before our time. Yeah, because the drinking age used to be 18 here.
And 21 in Illinois?
Yes.
Okay.
So, we always made a run for the border. Before we were of age. So that's how I knew Kenosha.
Okay.
And my mother used to love to shop here. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Those things.
So how long were you living in Antioch for?
We lived in Antioch until I was in 6th grade.
Oh, okay.
And then we moved out to Lake Villa.
Oh.
Big move.
Yeah.
Out to Petite Lake. Lived on Petite Lake.
Why did your family decide to move?
We had a small house, and my parents were, making a good living, and decided
to upgrade.
Okay. Yeah, we had a boat, and so we parked our boat in front of our house in Petite Lake, and
awesome.
It was a really great place to grow up.
Very cool.
Were you like, oh, here we go, we're moving? You were probably nervous.
I was very nervous. I was in 6th grade. Fortunately, everybody was changing schools at that time, so I went to Lakeville Intermediate, and then I ended up going to Antioch High School. So I came back together with my Antioch friends.
Oh, nice.
That's very cool.
Are you still friends with any of them nowadays?
No.
All fell through?
I mean, I see them occasionally.
They just say, hey, hi, how are you doing?
We went different paths.
Okay.
I left the area for many, many years. So I kind of lost touch.
Do you have any old boyfriends in Antioch that come creeping up once in a while?
Never tell you those stories, Donnie. You're going to have to put some hundreds down here to hear those stories.
So you moved from Antioch, you're in Lake Villa. What was it like living there with the change and everything? I mean, you obviously liked it, but
it was idyllic because you have a boat and you sled and you ice skate and
everything.
So all those things are at your disposal. So it couldn't have been a better way to grow up. The neighborhood was a bit rough compared to the Antioch neighborhood, though. Yeah,
rough, huh?
So we did our little hell raising back in grade school.
Oh, it was rough because of you?
Might have been. I don't know. When I came on the scene, I don't know. Everything changed. That's what everybody said. I was just a good girl from Antioch.
Okay. And then how long did your family stay there?
We were there, until I left for college. Okay. So I went through Antioch High School, graduated in 1977.
Okay.
And then went to Illinois Wesleyan University, where
what did you want to be when you grew up?
I was a music major.
Oh,
I played piano.
I could tell when you were singing those songs on the Patreon. You had a real good voice.
Yeah, there. Right. Anyway, so I really wasn't good at much else. So. How do you know what you want to be when you're 18?
Right.
Yeah.
So it just seemed to be the thing for me to pursue. So I had to. I had to do an audition, an interview to get into music school. And once I got in there, I was too busy dating my first husband to really pay attention to my major and my minor. So
your hands weren't tickling the keys they should have been, huh?
No, I was playing another instrument show that shall remain nameless. But anyway.
But you're having a good time in college.
Having a great time.
Yeah.
And then, wasn't paying attention to my studies, so I pretty much failed out.
Okay.
So I quit after a year.
Well, what got you into music? Were your parents into music? Is that kind of how the inspiration was at that time?
No, I just did a lot of music in high school.
Oh, okay.
My mother did play the piano, and she insisted on all of us getting piano lessons, so I actually was classically trained.
Wow.
And so, that's how I got into music school in college, because they don't just take, people who play pop music. So, so I was classically trained, and I was very active in music in high school. I was in the choir and the madrigals and won numerous awards. And so it was kind of the logical thing for me.
Yeah.
But to be a music major, you have to really be dedicated to your craft. And I did not have the dedication because I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. Once I got,
you're still a kid then, You're
still
19
a kid.
or so.
What do you know? What do you know? But we were expected to go to college, so that's what I did, and I lasted a year. And then circumstances happened, and I took another path in my life.
Okay.
What was that path?
Well, the path was
Getting married?
yes, of course, yes. So,
And where were you living this time when you get married?
well, this is such a long story. You guys want to hear all this?
Where were you living? That's all.
We were living in Fox Lake, Illinois,
Okay.
for a little while, and then we moved to Mississippi.
Mississippi?
Of all places.
Why?
Yes,
long?
because my first husband's father hailed from Mississippi, and so he and I didn't really have anything going on job wise. He quit college when he was in his third year. He ended up going to flight school and becoming a military pilot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so his career path went sailing up in the sky.
Okay. So how long were you in Mississippi then?
Not very long, about a year.
Okay.
We ended up getting married and getting pregnant, maybe not in that order. Yeah.
So it goes.
Decided to come back up to Illinois around family because I was young and,
Needed a support system.
I needed a support system.
Babysitter,
yeah. So my first husband went off to the Marine Corps and he enlisted and we had our first child. And by the end of her first birthday, he had already made it to officer candidate school. He was one of the rare people that they grabbed out of the enlisted ranks and put him, because he had 3 years of college. So they grabbed him, they threw him in the officer ranks. So I was an officer's wife for 11 years while he flew F-4 fighters. And, I was, the white glove, come on in. And I volunteered for Navy Relief and worked with people who needed some assistance.
Did you still live in the Illinois area?
Oh,
then?
no. By then first, it's a very long story.
Yeah.
I mean, we first started out in San Diego, California, and then he went to flight school in Pensacola, Florida.
Wow.
So we lived in Pensacola for a year. Had our second child there, moved to Meridian, Mississippi for a year, and then Yuma, Arizona for a year, and then Kingsville, Texas for 2 years, Beaufort, South Carolina for 2 years.
Wow.
And then at the end of those 12 years, 3 children later, he decided to go fly for the airlines. So he got a job with Continental Airlines.
Okay.
We moved back to the area after living all those wonderful places. And met
What was that like, constantly going to different places? It must have been challenging just to have to relearn areas and meet
it really
new people.
Was,
and just...
but my children are so much the better for it because they are able to adjust and
I guess
adapt to any situation.
Yeah.
So it was a learning experience because I was only 19 when he went in.
Okay, wow.
So
for all of you, it was a learning experience.
For all
you and
of
the
us,
kids.
it was a learning experience. So by the time he got out, I was 30.
Okay.
And we had 3 children.
Okay.
So we gained a lot of experiences in the military. It was the creme de la creme because he was a naval aviator.
Right.
Yeah.
So the friends that we had were, were interesting people. Let's put it
Out of
that
all
way.
those places that over those 10-some years, what was your favorite place that you were stationed at, so to speak?
They all had their charm. I'm not really a fan of the South, so to speak, but I did enjoy San Diego. San Diego was probably my favorite. Yuma, Arizona was pretty nice too. But I'm not a big fan of the South. So,
did your ex-husband ever see a UFO?
He was probably driving it, knowing him. His call sign was Mad Dog. Okay, so if you can picture the whole, scenario.
You never came up with any stories like, "Oh my God, I saw this."
No,
he couldn't talk about anything from work.
He really couldn't. But I'll tell you, I know so much about airplanes; it's scary because I used to drill him on his emergency procedures. Because you start out flying props and then you end up flying jets. So there's the transition.
Yeah.
So of course he had to study and pass all of these emergency procedures. So I knew just about everything.
You could just fly. You could be a pilot.
Damn plane. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. In the meantime, I was trying to find my own career path, and I worked at Georgia Military College. I was in the matriculation office there, and I went to school part time.
The what office?
The matriculation.
What the fuck is that?
That's the office you go to enroll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Matriculation?
Yeah, you matriculated to school.
Okay.
Okay.
I've never heard that word.
I know it's a very long word.
Yeah.
You have to look it up after.
Okay, matriculation.
You're learning something new here.
Word of the day, kids. Matriculation.
Yeah. So anyway, I went to school part-time. I went to college part-time and had 3 little children and was an officer's wife. And that's what I did for 11 years.
Okay.
So you was gone a lot of the time.
He was gone a lot.
You were raising these kids.
I was raising the kids.
I mean, and that's got to be tough.
Hats off to all military wives. It is spouses, I should say. It is not as easy as it looks. You have to be strong, and I was young, so I learned a lot about myself in those years.
Yeah. Plus, you're moving every year, every 2. You can't make your family's not there.
That's right.
Friends come and go.
That's right.
It's all on you.
And this is before social media. So
right.
really
there was no such thing. We didn't even have bag phones yet. That's how old I am.
You sent letters and postcards.
You really did. You had a Saturday phone call with your parents.
Yeah, and that was long distance.
It was long distance, so you talked really loud.
Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, God.
So he eventually gets work for an airliner, and then you come back to the Northern Illinois area.
And get divorced.
Oh.
Yes. So then my life went into a different mode.
Yeah.
I actually tell people every decade of my life has been different. So when I write my book, I better get started before my memory doesn't serve me anymore. It'll probably be called Decades, because every 10 years of my life changed drastically and dramatically. So, anywho, as a divorced military wife with 3 children, first thing I did, because I didn't really have a lot of career experience yet, I had just got my degree, and I took a job as a waitress at the Avalon in Gurnee, down the road from Six Flags Great America. And I just wanted a job that I could go to and clean up my mess and go home, because, going through a divorce is a process. So it was an easy way to go. About a year into it, I was like, okay, I need to go do something else. So I started working for a temp agency who sent me to a company called Cherry Electrical Products.
Okay.
And I filled in for a woman who went on maternity leave in the sales department there, worked in the customer service department, and went back to my waitress job after, a few months of filling in for her. I think she was on leave for probably 3 months. I went back to the Avalon and started waitressing again. And one day I was running around the restaurant at lunchtime, and there were 4 people from Cherry sitting in the booth. And they were like, "Hey, Sherry, over here." So I went over there to the table, and they were like, this one gentleman goes, "Are you looking for a job?" And I'm like, "What? Take me away from all this? What? Are you kidding?" He goes, "The customers fell in love with you after your 6-week stint. We would love for you to come in." And he said, "I'm looking for a customer service rep. Would you come in and be my customer service rep?" And so I was like, "Yeah, right." I didn't believe him. I didn't go. Well, he came back about 2 weeks later, and he goes, "HR is waiting for you. Where are you? Did you change your mind?" And I'm like, "No, of course not." So I went in and got hired and ended up staying for about 18 years. I started in customer service, worked my way up through engineering. I was a liaison between engineering and sales for a while. I was the customer service manager for a while. I was a forecast manager for a while. And then I got my dream job there, which I'd been working on ever since the day I hit the door, and that was a regional sales manager.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. So I managed about 70 field reps, and I handled territories, the Western region, the Midwest region, the Northern region. I was all over the place.
And you were really enjoying yourself. You love this.
I loved sales. Sales was made for me. Okay, so that's I always knew that, but I never had the opportunity to prove it.
So, kind of getting this job is kind of like when people are servers or waitresses. That's kind of like their dream for somebody to come in and say, "We want to hire you."
Take me away from all of this.
And, I mean, you're right. You should write a book, because some of this stuff. And you built such a great career from that as well.
The experiences I've had in my lifetime have been invaluable. from being a military wife at age 19 all the way through my corporate career.
Wow.
So that's how I ended up being a small business owner. We really don't want to go through the rest of that history, do we? Because it's a lot of history. So anyway.
Well, what brought you to Kenosha, I guess?
Yeah.
Okay. So Cherry Electrical was in Waukegan, and then they built a building over in Pleasant Prairie area. So I ended up in that location. And so I moved to Kenosha as a single woman. And that's how I got the idea for my consignment shop, because I used to walk downtown, and there was not a place for me to buy a pair of pantyhose. And I was a traveling sales manager, so I used to leave town every other week and go fly off somewhere.
So, back up a little bit.
Okay.
So, when you first moved to Kenosha, where did you move? What neighborhood did you move into?
I lived a couple places. I lived over in Allendale on Fifth Avenue. I rented a house there. And then I eventually moved over to the Carroll Beach side.
Okay.
But yeah, so I lived there.
Were your kids grown by then?
My kids had, one by one, moved down to Atlanta, where my ex-husband was, remarried. Some of them were sent there against their will, and others volunteered to go.
So little hellions like their mother?
They had, he was remarried, and I was a traveling saleswoman.
So,
and
it's hard,
it was the best place for them to have a nice, secure childhood.
Okay,
yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah,
okay.
So that's how that worked. So I was a single woman.
Okay.
So having fun on the sales trail.
Well, I'm not, again, you better get the hundreds out if you want those stories.
So what was your first impression of Kenosha when you kind of arrived here, when scoped the area out?
I loved it. Yeah. I loved Kenosha. There's nothing
your first impression, though,
Well, my first impression was, after being all those, really glamorous places, I was like, this is definitely a blue-collar town, which I appreciate. It was fine. I guess that was my first impression, because living in Illinois, we had cheeseheads, and, we'd heard the horror stories. And I was like, I work with people from Kenosha. They're not like that at all. Good foundation.
So then you're saying, so that kind of inspired you to open up your own business.
Go together in
So
a
we
weird
just want to take our break here, and then we'll be right back to find out more about this business.
Some great women
So
started
don't touch
coming
that
in,
dial.
and they decided to try on the bras. And
Life throws us curveballs, moments when we need to gather, remember, and say goodbye. It's during these times that Casey Family Options Funerals and Cremations stands with you.
They offer a wide range of affordable options, from traditional funerals to modern celebrations of life. No matter your family's wishes, they can create a meaningful tribute without breaking the bank.
But here's the thing, affordability does not mean they cut corners. At Casey Family Options, they believe every life deserves a beautiful send-off.
So when life throws you a curveball, remember you're not alone. Casey Family Options Funeral and Cremations, affordable care with endless compassion.
Visit them online at CaseyFamilyOptions.com or call today for a free consultation, 262-653-0667. Hey, Jason, want to help me move this weekend? Hey, don't be that guy.
Your friends do not want to spend all day lugging your crap around for a few beers and pizza.
When you are looking to relocate, call on About Time Moving Systems. They have over 20 years of trusted 5-star experience.
Find them online at AboutTimeMoving.com. Your friends and your body will thank you.
All right, and we're back from that break.
And what a break it was.
It was, Jason. And who are we here with right now?
We're still here with SherryLudwig, owner of Bisou Lingerie.
Yep, and they're located at 635 58th Street in beautiful Downtown Kenosha. BisouBras.com. Check them out on the World Wide Web and Facebook, Instagram, and all the other good stuff. See what they have. But we're going to learn more about that.
We got to back it up a little bit here.
Yeah, we got to see. Got to get right to that first business you opened up and how that grew into
when we left,
the success that you have.
You were a traveling saleswoman. You just moved to Kenosha. You're kind of fresh here in town. You're wandering around downtown. There's no place for pantyhose.
Correct.
So then what?
Not a single place. Well, I lived here a couple of more years before I ended up opening my first business here. At age 50, I got put out to pasture by the
at your sales job?
Corporate sales job. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Because, back in those days, and that was a while ago, women didn't have the same power as they have now, and it was pre-Me Too. And when you got to be a woman of certain age, they didn't appreciate you being out in the public representing their company. So, yeah. So 18 years later, they said goodbye, and I said sayonara at age 50.
Wow.
Right. It was in 2008. The economy had just taken a big nosedive.
Oh, yeah.
And so I didn't know what I was going to do with the next 10 years of my life.
Because you're kind of freaking out a little bit.
A little bit. I mean, I was married, my second husband at the time, who actually I met him at Cherry.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so that's how you met him.
That's
okay.
how I met him.
You met him there. Was he still working there then? After they
he
let
was.
you go?
He was still working there, yes.
Okay.
So that worked out well, that I could, actually figure out what it was I wanted to do, not something I had to do. So I decided to open a consignment shop because there was nowhere to buy a pair of pantyhose in downtown Kenosha for women in those days. And downtown was not what it is today.
Yeah.
I mean, Jockey came after us.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we Jockey.
We inspired Jockey to open a store across the street, right, Donnie? I love it. We were one of the first businesses to really step out. Sandy's Popper was here. Of course. Just a very few scattered businesses. So, opened the doors thinking that I was going to consign all these designer clothes for these women in Kenosha. And not knowing, not having any experience in it, we just opened on a song and a prayer. I opened with a colleague that I had from Cherry.
Pat. Oh, that's how you met Pat then?
Yeah.
From Cherry,
From Cherry, yeah.
Okay.
So she and I took the plunge into small business ownership. So
you opened up Coco's Attic.
We opened Coco's Attic, and Coco
2011.
was... Correct, 2011. Coco was Pat's poodle.
Yes, big poodle, if I
Big
remember
poodle,
correctly.
yeah. Pat was my partner, Pat Joseph.
Oh, yes, okay,
yeah.
yes.
So Coco was our mascot, and we took in high-end designer clothes, and we resold them.
Okay.
And then we tracked all the money and gave it back to the consigners when they came in to, get their cut. So they would get a certain cut. And we did all this manually.
Jeez.
So it was a big undertaking. It actually took two of us.
Writing everything down.
Writing everything down, trying to keep track of everybody's pennies was a challenge. Go ahead.
I think that's when I first met you. When you opened up, I went in there, and I always applaud what you've done and what you've been doing, because I was like, there's no other shop like this that's doing these high ends, and I was like, this is going to be something. And
it really was. I mean, it caught fire.
Yeah, well, because you started out at 5507 6th Avenue. It's where Shoe Soldier is today.
That's right. That little tiny space.
And within 6 months, you had to move again. You had to move down to where Salon Pure is at 5531.
Correct.
So you were already just packing the place up with merchandise. And
we were coming out of that place in 6 months. So we moved down the sidewalk, and
is that when you changed the name to 6th Avenue Boutique? Or
Pat decided to leave the business.
Okay.
And so I was, the only one left, so I changed the name.
Okay.
Did you have any thoughts of just giving up, or you're like, I'm going to do this on my own? I've done this.
This was nothing.
Okay.
I mean, I used to manage millions of dollars worth of business, so this was like, and where was I going to work at that point? I'd been out of it too long, so.
It's been a real easy move right down the sidewalk. Right?
No, it was terrible. Oh, my God. Have you ever moved a business? Woo. Anyway, so I ran that business by myself, was in there day in and day out, and slowly but surely I watched Downtown Kenosha grow.
Yep.
Jockey came in across the street, and, just a few more people opened up, and all of a sudden we were gaining some respect. Because there were some businesses that were holding on for more than 2 to 3 years.
Right.
So after, getting to know all the women in town, owning a resale shop is an interesting gig because you have both the women up front who bring the clothes and then you have the women who purchase them. So, you have to kind of be a chameleon for your audience.
Yeah, and I'm sure you're getting people in there with stuff that you would never be able to sell. Sorry, we're not that kind of shop.
Correct.
Stuff like
so
that.
we had to educate the community for sure. We kept that business open for about 6 years, and about 4 years into it, the economy started picking up steam again, and people were not buying secondhand like they were. So we were trying to figure out how we were going to stay in business, because I already had a nice base of people already. Everybody knew me. Everybody, I gained the trust of the people bringing the clothes in, and so we were trying to determine a product to possibly do some new items along with the consignment. And so my husband, of all people, he's a marketing guy, a very good marketing guy actually, said to me, "Why don't you bring in some bras?" Mm-hmm. And I was like, "What?" He said, "Well, you have to travel to Chicago and to Milwaukee to get your stuff. And I'm sure there are so many more women in this town who are in the same boat as you." And I'm like, "Yeah, but we're downtown Kenosha." And I mean, nobody at that time was shopping those kind of high-end luxury products down there. Yeah. So I found a distributor who had no minimums, and I purchased 6 designs, and I put them on a back table. Now
I remember that.
Remember that?
I remember just that small little table.
Small little table, and nobody paid attention to them, or they were like, "Oh, are those used?"
Well, it's odd. It's odd movement to go from used clothes like that, even high-end designer clothes, to lingerie.
You got it. It's a big departure. However, it kind of goes together. It's kind of complementary.
It does, just like a big step. Yeah.
Well, women used to come in and try on clothes and try on dresses and go, "I'll be back to buy this dress when I lose 10 pounds. And I used to think to myself, "Honey, you just need a good undergarment. You just need a good foundation, and that dress would fit you like a dream." So it kind of did actually go together in a weird kind of way. Okay. Yeah. So some brave women started coming in, and they decided to try on the bras, and they loved the fit so much and the look so much that they purchased them. And I was like, okay, this was after they sat gathering dust on a back table for about 3 months. So I took the money that I made and I invested in more inventory. Yeah. And more people started trying them, and they liked them. And so we built.
And the word gets out.
Yeah, word gets out. We had half on the front window. It said 6th Avenue Consignment on one side, and then on the other side it said Bisou Lingerie. Yep. So people didn't know what to think. I mean, they would come in, and Chris Nauman, who was the downtown director, came in and for the first time, and he goes, "This is a great shop, but what the hell are you doing? How are you mixing the two? How are you doing this?" And I didn't know how we did it, but it took us 2.5 years to get enough inventory to take it on its own. Mm-hmm. And so that's when we made the move over to 58th Street.
Okay, your current location.
Location, and opened Bisou Lingerie. Yes. So that's how we came to be.
Were you doing any of the fittings or anything before that?
We were.
Okay.
I went to fit school.
Okay.
Yep. And we did fittings there, and women just loved the fit, and they came in and bought more and more and more. We moved. We had a petition up between the resale end of it and the lingerie, and the partition kept moving forward as we gained inventory, and it was gaining popularity. Mm-hmm. So 2.5 years. So I've done everything the hard way, guys. I've done everything the hard way. 2.5 years, grabbed all the inventory, moved over to 58th Street.
And the 58th Street location, you've been there quite a while now.
It'll be 8 years in February.
It is a beautiful store with that brick and just the way you have it all set up and everything. It really is. It fits your business and you, I think, perfectly.
Thank you.
It really does.
Thank you. Yeah.
Very comfortable when you walk in. This kind of thing. Very cozy.
Thanks. It should be cozy. I wanted people to think of a French a boutique or your friend's closet where you just come in and you throw your purse down and you start gossiping, try on bras and underwear and lingerie.
Now you do these fitting parties and couple fitting, things like that.
Yes, we do.
All this stuff that's all accessed on your website.
Yes.
And you offer wine on these?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
It's a good time.
All right.
So not everybody is comfortable coming into our boutique. Some people have to work up the courage, which I don't understand because we are definitely the most approachable kind of staff. I find women who are just really safe and secure with themselves.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you can bring your gal pals, and we'll shut the door after hours, and we'll crank the jams. You bring some light bites, and then start fitting.
Okay.
And so, we have a good old time, but what happens at Bisou stays at Bisou, so I'm not going to tell you guys any stories, so stop already. I know.
We're going to have to book a fitting party.
You book a fitting party.
See, Donnie, what would you fit in there?
See, I see your eyes lighting up over there.
So also with your business, just knowing you for so long and kind of doing some marketing for you here and there through the years, what I learned, a lot of women don't understand how to be fitted properly. They just think, I can go get a bra at Target, it'll be fine. But
Correct.
you and your team are experts on this is the perfect fit for you.
Absolutely.
So what can you just tell some of our listeners of why you need to have that perfect fit?
Absolutely. I would say 80% of women are wearing the wrong size bra, and it's not their fault. There's never been any education for women. The education that they've received probably is a fitting, quote unquote, at Victoria's Secret. That's a place that, they're a wonderful business, but they're going to sell you what they make, what they manufacture.
Yeah.
European products are what we carry, and of course the Europeans pretty much invented the bra and lingerie, so they know what they're doing. They use quality materials, and they have the proper philosophy about fit, because when your bra fits, you just forget about it. So, and their philosophy is, the band size is the band size, so whatever you measure around is your band, and then they allow enough room in the cups for a proper fit. This is probably more than you guys ever want to know about bra fitting 101, but that's what sets them apart.
Okay.
And women who have never been in the proper size come in and get fit, and
they have
it
a new
literally
life.
changes their life.
Yeah.
They cry, they hug you, they dance around. You can just see they leave with a skip in their step.
I bet that never gets old to you. It always brings a smile to your face.
That's why I do this.
Yeah.
That is why I do this.
Because none of us should be wearing like itchy bras that are uncomfortable.
Well, no, I mean,
Wires poking out on you.
Yeah.
they're experts, guys. I don't know. I'm starting to wonder. But it really, there is nothing more makes a woman more confident than feeling good about your undergarments. And I know that sounds weird. It's not at all.
It's not at all.
When you get a new outfit, you walk a little taller, and you have more confidence. And so that is our mission. Our
feel
mission,
good, look good, you feel good.
Look good, you feel good.
And even if people can't see that underneath there,
That's
you know
right.
you're wearing it, and you're going to feel good about
That's
it.
right. We get
you'd be like, damn, I look good. My boobs are all up here, this and that. Yeah.
Well, we get a lot of professional women that wear uniforms, such as nurses, etc. They really like to invest in their lingerie because nobody can see it, but they at least feel like they're halfway fashionable, because they're in their generic uniforms. So
very cool.
Yeah.
So you just don't have bras there. You have a lot of other products.
Of course,
can you kind of give us the rundown on some of this stuff?
Of course, bras are our specialty, but we do have matching sets, so we carry the underwear that matches the bras as well as everyday type underwear. And we carry shapewear, and we also carry nursing bras. We carry nightgowns and pajamas and some lotions and potions. And we also started carrying swimwear a couple years ago, about 2 years ago. So bra size swimwear is another really great product if you've I can't believe who I'm speaking to here, but
you're speaking to the audience.
If you've ever dove into a pool and had a wardrobe malfunction, you would appreciate a bra sized bra top.
There we go.
Yes, so we do carry those as well.
So you have it all there.
We have it all. We have one-stop shop. We have garter belts, and we have hosiery, and we just have everything lingerie.
And a great staff.
And
I got to give a shout out to Nancy.
Staff. I have the best staff in the state of Wisconsin. They are awesome.
Yeah, they all are great.
Yeah, I am so blessed. I have somebody who's been in the industry for 30 years. and she can pretty much fit you without the measuring tape.
Just looking. Here we go. All right.
Yes. I also have somebody who's extremely comfortable with herself in Nancy Cushman.
I love her so much. She's one of my favorite human beings.
I know.
I see her out and about on the town. I see her at Hill's Hot Rod Hideout once in a while. Oh, we have a good old time with a few shots.
She is one of the favorite bra fitters. People request her by name because she is just very, very comfortable with herself, and she puts everybody at ease and keeps us laughing.
I love her.
And then I have a new person who is Sophia, who used to work at the APIS, and so I always try to keep a young person on staff for our younger clientele, like if people are coming in for their first bra, bringing their granddaughters or their daughters. Sometimes they're more comfortable with somebody who's not old enough to be there. So yes, and then I do have a really great social media group now.
Yeah, they were just on the show. Who did that social? Yes,
I know.
Shannyn and Leah.
Yeah, they have taken our social media into the stratosphere.
Doing great.
Yeah, my mission in life is to help young people just getting started in their career, young women. I believe that everybody needs a chance. And so when we moved into 6th Avenue Boutique, I had an interior designer who was just trying to get started with her career, do the
Very
decor
nice.
there. Her name's Caldame, and she has since had a burgeoning career.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, every chance I get, I try to
just give back.
Give back, because that's all I have at this point.
Let's you've done it all. All right, so going back to Bisou, you've done everything with this place, right? I mean,
she even has a second location.
Yeah, what is this about? Your success
branching out to Lake Geneva, I hear.
Oh boy!
This began last year. You started doing little pop-ups out there, and it's been going well.
It actually started with one customer, and her name is Beth Tumas, and she owns the bottle shop in Lake Geneva. If you've never been to her shop, it is the wine bar as you're coming into town in the big white building. She has live music out in the patio and just a wonderful person. Anyway, she is a longtime customer, and she would bug me every time she came to this. She's like, "You need to come out to Lake Geneva. We need to collaborate. We need to do something." And
I want to drive all the way here for bras.
And I'd be like, yeah. And then, exactly. She didn't want to drive for bras. So in October of last year, I agreed to do a pop-up shop in Lake Geneva. And I did it at the bottle shop, Beth's location, which has a little retail room in the back of it. So I set up shop there for about a month. We did every weekend, and because I was trying to capture some of the Illinois market, and I wasn't having much success trying to get people to the Kenosha store. So I'm like, I'm going to take this on the road and see what I can find. And so
You weren't doing the fittings or anything there, though.
We actually did.
Did you have
We
someone
did
there?
fittings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. We all
You weren't
do.
just throwing your merchandise out there and walking away.
No.
Okay.
No, we actually did fittings while we were there,
wow,
and we were a huge hit.
Cool.
So the visit Lake Geneva people and the powers that be there kept saying, "You need to come here. You need to open a permanent location." I'm like, "Oh, I don't really want to because I'm not 25 anymore. I'm not even 52." So I said, "Okay, if you can find me this amount of space, this amount of money, and this commitment, I'll consider it."
Oh, and
thinking, no way.
They can do it.
Never going to happen. So I get a phone call about 4 months later, and they're like, "Sherry, we found you a space.
wow.
Oh.
It's right next to the bottle shop where you did the pop-up."
Oh, wow.
So I went and looked at the space, and it's absolutely perfect, and I couldn't say no. And so we opened up shop.
Wow, okay.
We signed the lease in March and opened June 1st.
Wow.
Almost killed my husband.
Poor guy.
Doing fixturing,
So when they called you and said, "We got this space," you're like, "Dang it, I wasn't like 100% sure, but let me look at it." And then you're like, "This is it."
I was like, now I got to put my money where my mouth was.
And it works out great that you did the pop-ups there, so some of the people know, "Oh, okay, this
so
is
they
the
already
spot
know
to
I'm
be."
already known as the bra lady there.
Right.
So that's good. And I'm finding my market there. It's good.
So what's the difference between that shop and the one you have here?
Well, the name, for one thing.
Oh, yes.
The name is different. The name is Coquette, which is kind of a
Coquette.
cousin to Bisou.
Okay.
So we have Kiss is Bisou in French, and then Flirt is Coquette.
Oh.
So they kind of go together.
Okay, I like that.
Different product lines, however, we're not sharing lines because it's only 40 minutes away, and so I didn't want to dilute the business here if I could help it. And I went into it thinking that we weren't going to do bra fitting out there, that would be more of a grab and go, that we would cater to the tourists. And what I've found is, since June 1st, is the locals and the people who live there in the summertime are coming in and they all want bras.
Oh, yeah.
So I've changed my business plan. In 2 months' time, I had to make a right turn.
Wow.
It requires a lot of inventory. So we're slowly but surely building, and we're going to start bra fitting as of September 1st.
Wow.
Okay. Do you anticipate that this might change through the winter, though? With
Yes.
because Lake Geneva is definitely more of a seasonal kind of destination.
It is. However, they are really extending their activities through the fall, and they do have the ice castles in the winter.
That's true.
I have no idea what this winter is
I guess
going
you're
to
gonna
be
learn. You're
like.
gonna
I'm
find
going to
out, huh?
learn.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
I think we're actually going to probably rent an apartment and stay out there for the winter.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause we're rehabbing a 110-year-old home, so it doesn't break my heart. We still don't have all the walls up. So anyway, I'm just kind of feeling my way, so to speak, through the first year here to see what's happening.
And the Lake Geneva area is beautiful as well.
Oh, it's
so,
beautiful. It's
I mean,
booming.
Yeah.
I cannot believe what has happened to that area.
Yeah, it's great out there.
During the pandemic, the Chicago people found Lake Geneva and they bought homes there.
Oh.
There we go.
And
high-end market up
they
there,
are
too.
living there. Yes. And so
Kind of going full circle back to the old days when it was began as a Chicago.
How about it? Yeah, I feel
the train
like
used to run out there. And
I feel very at home there.
Yeah.
I really do. It feels like I'm
Among
back
your
to
people?
among my people. Like I'm back to the stomping ground. Yeah, Illinois just comes in circles.
Back to Fibland. All right, that's Coquette. That's located at 605 West Main Street in Lake Geneva. And Bisou Lingerie is located right in downtown on 58th Street, 635. You can give her a call at 262-653-0112. Find their website at bijoubras.com. Facebook, Instagram, all those links we write down in our show notes.
All right, well, let's take a break, and we're going to come back with some Kenosha Connects.
Yeah, and wrap things up here with SherryLudwig.
One bad day can lead to many more when the law becomes involved.
And if your one bad day leads to the need for experienced representation, call on the law offices of Frank J. Parise.
Parise is more than just a local rock star. This born and raised Kenosian specializes in misdemeanors, felonies, DUIs, drug charges, domestic violence, and juvenile law.
Save this number in your phone now, 262-656-9906. You never know when you might need Frank Parise. He is here to help you. Hey, where you going?
I'm getting down to Frank's Diner. They're only open for breakfast and lunch, so I gotta hurry.
Whoa, what do they got down there?
Amazing food! They have their world-famous garbage plates, but so much more. Fantastic homemade French toast, delicious sandwiches for lunch, and be sure to check out their daily specials. They're always coming up with something new and different.
That's Frank's Diner, located in downtown Kenosha at 508 58th Street.
And we're back from that break.
Wait, it's my turn to say that.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And we're back from that break.
And what a break that was.
That's right, Donnie. And what time is it now?
Oh, my gosh. It's time for Kenosha Connects.
And that's brought to you by Shannyn Franklin. Whether you're buying, selling, or just curious about the local real estate market, Shannyn Franklin of ReMax Newport Elite would love to offer her support and service.
Shannyn knows Kenosha, both as an agent and as a neighbor, and can help find exactly what you are looking for.
Find her realtor webpage at remax.com or give her a call, 262-960-5182, to begin your real estate journey.
Hello, Shannyn. I want that building by Kenosha Tap House. I want to buy it for $1 million.
Are you going to buy it?
I'm thinking about it.
What was in there? Oh, that was the old market building or something.
Yes. All right, you ready for the Kenosha Connects?
Oh.
All right, we're going to start you off with an easy one. What was the last great meal you had in Kenosha?
There's so many places to have great meals in Kenosha, but the last great meal that we had was Ono.
Oh, yes.
Love Ono.
Oh, it's so great there. I love that, too.
Yeah, but really, our becoming big fans of Cut Stone Pizza as well.
Yes.
My husband is a pizza connoisseur. Yeah, there's so many good restaurants in downtown Kenosha. I
It's
could go
great.
on and on.
Because it's like, what do I want tonight? Well, this, okay, next day. Or
It's
a week
so
later.
wonderful.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, because we live right down here as well. So.
Oh, yeah.
Sherry, when's the last time you put your feet in Lake Michigan?
Ooh, last summer. I've been so busy this summer, I haven't had a chance to go. But my husband and I like to frequent the beaches.
Nice.
Yes.
Very good.
All right, Sherry. In which Kenosha bar do you think you spent the most money?
I think it'd have to be Why Not.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm a wine connoisseur.
Okay. Great place.
What's your favorite museum in Kenosha?
I like the Civil War Museum. I think it's amazing. I can't believe what they've done. I think, I don't know how they're advertising, but the word needs to get out.
Yeah, I love those dummies that talk to you and tell you stories.
I know, exactly. Reminds
You
me
sit
of
next
some
to them and they
people
start-
I know. They're probably more entertaining, though.
Yeah.
The dummies, that is.
They tell the same story over and over again.
Exactly.
I've known people like that, though, too.
No, exactly.
All right, how about this one? What now closed Kenosha business do you wish you could bring back?
Oh, boy.
The drive-in.
The drive-in, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's a
there's-
common answer, but...
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
The drive-in,
Oh,
I miss it.
Yeah.
That's a serious answer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I did like Pazzo's.
Mm-hmm.
Pazzo's
That was
was
fun. That
great.
was a good
Back in the
place.
day, it was a great place. Yeah, it was after work kind of thing.
Where in Kenosha can I find the best Italian food? I'm not saying pizza, I'm saying Italian food.
Yeah. I'm probably going to be very unpopular for this, but
Uh-oh.
I have to say Tuscany Bistro.
Okay.
That's
Way
good
out
stuff
by the
there.
interstate.
That's good. They're
Yeah.
good there. They're real good.
I guess you got to find places in between now. You're going back and forth to Lake Geneva.
Right. Oh, yeah. That's my beaten path now. Yeah.
And then our last question here, the big Kenosha debate. Big Star or the Spot?
The Spot.
The Spot. All right.
Not a Big Star fan.
No, huh?
No.
I had some cheese curds the other day from the Spot. Cheese squares.
She's squares.
Yes. That breaded cheese square is pretty good. I wonder if they changed the sign yet. I haven't been there in a long time. The menu board used to say breaded cheese square, singular.
Nice.
So I imagine
Nice.
the big, huge
Big one.
Yeah. This is like 10, 15 years ago. So they must have fixed it by now. But
Who knows?
yeah, let us know if you've noticed the change at Ktown Connects at yahoo.com.
All right, that was our Kenosha Connects, and that was brought to you by Shannyn Franklin.
Oh my gosh. And it's trivia time now, Donnie.
Oh my gosh, and trivia is brought to you by the Lettering Machine. They're located at 725 50th Street. They can customize almost anything: uniforms, gifts, accessories, school apparel, office attire, you name it. Even the new Donnie Stancato shirt that'll be coming out real soon.
Oh boy.
So get a hold of the Lettering Machine. Check out their online novelty shop at letteringmachine.com, or just stop in and see some of the great Kenosha merchandise that they have on sale there. And say hi to Tina and Dave. All right, you ready for some trivia?
Sure.
All right, Sherry. For our trivia segment today, Donnie's going to take you on in a 100% legitimate, definitely not skewered, on the level, totally fair trivia game. And this week's completely random subject, it's not catered to a guest one bit, is, let's see, women's undergarments.
Ooh.
Okay, so this trivia is taken from zivame.com. So any problems, yell at them, not me. So I have 3 questions for each of you.
Okay.
Sherry, would you like to go first? I'd like to have Donnie go first.
Well, let's let Donnie go first.
Thank
All right. Donnie, I got you an easy one here.
Oh, wonderful, finally.
And these are all multiple choice, by the way.
Oh, I have a chance.
Donnie, which was the first civilization society to record women wearing some form of clothing to support their breasts? Is it the Romans, the Egyptians, or the Greeks?
The Egyptians.
No, I'm sorry. It is the Greeks.
Dang it. Do you know that one?
No.
Oh.
I did not.
All right. Sherry, here's your first one.
Okay.
For women from the 17th and 19th centuries, what were their corsets made out of? Is it goat intestines, whale jaw bones, or elephant skin?
Whale jawbones.
Yay!
You got that.
All
All right.
right.
Of course.
So you're up. Donnie? Mm-hmm. In which decade was the modern-day bra size measuring system introduced? Was it the 30s, 1930s, 1940s, or 1950s?
40s.
I'm sorry, it is the 1930s.
say that, but I was like, that's too easy.
Batting 1,000.
God.
All right, Sherry. In what year were sport bras invented? Is it 1846, 1911, or 1977?
I got to go with 1977.
You would be correct.
Yeah.
All right.
Donnie, last
Highly
one for you.
specialized. We carry them, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Very nice.
I forgot to mention sports bras.
Donnie, here's your last one here.
All right, let's see if I can
This
just
is-
add one.
This is an
Just
easy
get
one. Come on.
Okay.
Donnie, you got to know this. You're going to know this one without even the multiple choice.
Okay.
Donnie, who patented the first brassiere design? Is it Lewis Howard Latimer, Mary Phelps Jacob, or Balula Henry?
Balula Henry?
No, I'm sorry. That was Mary Phelps Jacob.
Yep. How was I going to know that one?
I thought you knew. I thought you knew about patents. Aren't you a patent major in college? All right, Sherry, let's see if you get all three. You're already kicking his butt. So, Sherry, what is a chemise?
It is a nightgown.
Oh.
I'll take it.
Yay!
And you are the winner.
Oh, yes. I know my business.
Yes, congratulations. And guess what you win? A Ktown Connects koozie courtesy of the lettering machine.
Oh, I'll treasure it forever.
Please.
Thank you.
When you have a nice drink at home, put it in there.
I'll
and
always
think of
remember you
us.
guys.
Yes,
I'll always
thank you.
remember this podcast, this wonderful experience.
All right, get on down to Bisou Lingerie, 635 58th Street. Find their website at bijoubras.com, Facebook, Instagram. Now, for a guy who wants to get something for his woman, can you offer like gift cards, things like that?
We do have gift cards.
So a guy can come in there and be like, hey, my lady, I want to try and get her in here. Blah, blah,
Even
blah, blah.
better than that, if your lady has already been with us, we have a list, a record of all of her purchases. And when women come in, we put together a wish list. So they can, they can
very
leave a
nice.
list behind for somebody coming in and buying them a gift. However, we do get many men coming in. We think it's just wonderful. They want to give their significant other the gift of fit, and so they purchase a gift card, and she comes in.
Perfect.
And sometimes he accompanies her, and sometimes he doesn't. But it's a very sweet gesture. We love that.
All right. Well, Sherry, thanks so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you. So I'll give us a plug about the Lake Geneva one more time.
Yes, Coquette. Lingerie, swimwear, and sleepwear, 605 West Main Street, Lake Geneva.
All right.
I'm so happy for you for expanding
Thank
this new
you.
shop. It's well deserved. You've been around, and
Literally.
you've been around striving as a business owner, and this is just icing on the cake.
And we love what you do for the community. Keep up the good work.
You really
Thank
do.
you. Thank you.
So, and everybody out there, look for this episode and many more of the Ktown Connects podcast on Spectrum Channel 14 and Kenosha Community Media streaming channel on the Roku. We air Wednesdays at 11 a.m. and Sundays at 5.
Look, Mom, I'm on TV.
That's right, Donnie. And don't forget to follow the Ktown Connects podcast on all those social media outlets, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, blah, blah, blah. Drop us a 5-star, thumbs up, whatever it is. Get the word out about the hottest podcast in town. And what podcast is that, Donnie?
That's the Ktown Connects podcast.
Yay!
And we also want to say this episode is brought to you by one of our Patreon subscribers, and that one is Beth Derry. Oh, Beth, I haven't talked to you in so long. I miss you so much.
I
Thank you.
just saw her recently. She's doing great.
Oh, good. Thank you for all of your support. And if you'd like to become a Patreon subscriber, visit ktownconnects.com as subscriptions get this.
What?
As low as only
How much?
$2 a month.
Wow.
That's cheaper than a cup of coffee, huh?
Yeah, a lot cheaper these days.
You know what that gets you? Early access to every
Wow.
episode in its raw, unedited form. Sometimes up to 2 hours of bonus material.
Ooh.
Yep, and you even get our spin-off series, It Is What It Is, where Jason and I talk about anything that's on our mind. It gets a little crazy once in a while.
Don, I can't wait to see who's grind your gears this week.
Well, I'm at peace with everybody. Nobody's made me mad.
Oh, you
anymore.
Zen now?
Yeah, I'm at peace with the
Is that what
world.
Simcoe did for you last weekend? Brought the Zen out in you?
Yes.
All right.
And we want to thank all of our wonderful sponsors. We could not do this show without them. Or we could, but we wouldn't have any money to promote it.
Yeah, we'd be back at Luigi's.
So I want to thank A Plus Mobility,
Aaron Hunzinger of AH Did It.
Casey Family Options, Funerals and Cremations,
About Time Movers. About Time Moving Systems.
The law offices of Frank J. Parise.
Public Craft Brewing.
The Lettering Machine.
Frank's Diner.
Shannyn Franklin of ReMax Elite.
Union Park Tavern.
The Port of Kenosha Beverage House.
Rocket Optical.
Vintage Underground.
And Wink Beauty Boutique.
Yep, thank you all so much. Another great episode in the bank, huh, Jason?
I know, Donnie. This has been amazing. We're kicking these great episodes out recently.
I know.
We're having a good time.
We really
I think we're hitting a new stride, I think.
Yeah, you know what else? We're just nailing everything that we do when it comes to podcasts.
nailing everything.
Yeah, everything.
Okay, not everyone. Okay,
yeah, everything.
But I got to ask, what are we doing here?
You know, I've been trying to figure that out after 157 episodes we have out. But
262?
I think I figured it out.
What's that?
We are connecting Kenosha.